Under the glow of a sleepy moon, something magical was about to begin. The soft click-clack of wheels echoed through the starlit silence. A train, long and gentle, rolled slowly into the platform made of glowing blocks. It wasn't just any train. It was the night train through Robloxia. And waiting at the edge of the platform, his eyes wide with wonder and sleep, was Sprunki. He took a slow step forward. The train shimmered with moonlight. Its windows glowed softly, and the doors opened without a sound. Sprunki climbed aboard, carrying nothing but a blanket shaped like a cloud. He found his seat by the window, nestled into a cushioned nook, and let out a tiny sigh. Outside, the world began to move, but not fast, not in a rush. This was a dream train, meant for drifting, meant for resting. As the night train pulled away from the station, soft lights blinked across the ceiling like lazy stars. Sprunki pressed his cheek to the window. The first world rolled into view. To the left, Robloxia's moonlight meadows stretched wide and silver. Giant dandelions glowed in the fields, and sleepy rabbits curled into petals like blankets. One of them waved slowly at Sprunki. He waved back, eyes sparkling. On the right, mist floated above Silent Stream Valley. Roblox characters, Noob, the conductor, even Stealer, slept gently beneath dream trees. A tiny version of the survivalist held a glowing lantern while sleepwalking in a loop. It was peaceful, like a lullaby brought to life. Sprunki blinked slowly. The rhythm of the tracks became a lullaby of its own. Ticka, tucka, ticka, tucka. The train dipped into a tunnel made of translucent crystals. Blue light danced on the windows. Inside, soft hums filled the cabin, like the quiet breathing of sleeping stars. Sprunki pulled his blanket closer. The tunnel opened, and they entered the cloud gardens. Massive clouds shaped like turtles floated in the sky. Some carried tiny Roblox houses on their backs, their lights dim and cozy. Others hosted fields of sleeping sheep, each one snoring in perfect sync. The bunny in pajamas bounced slowly across one of the clouds, leaving a trail of glowing sparkles. She stopped to look at the train. Her ears twitched. Then she vanished into a curl of mist. Sprunki smiled. The train curved gently. A soft voice whispered from somewhere far off. Next stop, Lavender Peaks. As the engine hummed, the world outside softened even more. The sky turned lavender, and soft feathers fell like snow. A mountain range shaped like pillows rose into view. On one of the peaks, a tiny sleepy village blinked its night lights in unison. Children in Roblox avatars rocked gently on floating swings made of clouds. Inside the train, the lights dimmed slightly. Sprunki's head drooped for a moment, then lifted again. He didn't want to miss what came next. They passed a dream fountain. Its water poured in slow motion, glittering like stardust. The conductor appeared again, standing by the fountain, his coat glowing faintly blue. He looked at Sprunki, tapped the brim of his hat, and smiled. Sprunki waved sleepily in return. Soon, the train began to rise, slowly, steadily, into the upper skies of Robloxia. They were heading toward the sky spiral. The windows grew rounder, and the stars outside multiplied. Floating platforms spiraled around the train, carrying small sleeping dragons and tiny dreambirds in glass bubbles. Sprunki watched them pass, his breath fogging the glass. One of the dragons opened a sleepy eye, then closed it again with a yawn. As they climbed, the air shimmered more. The train grew quieter, more distant, as if reality itself was slipping into dream. They reached the top of the spiral, where a vast field of stars stretched in every direction. The train floated now, gliding through the night with no tracks beneath it. Here, in this weightless space, Robloxian dreams drifted like jellyfish, soft, glowing, and full of whispers. Sprunki saw visions, a child hugging a plushie, a house made of books, a moon turning into a cradle. He looked down and realized he was floating too. The train disappeared beneath him. He wasn't afraid. The stars wrapped around him like a blanket. Sprunki slowly tumbled through the starlit dream sea, arms out, eyes wide with awe. He passed a dream where the keeper of yawns gently placed a golden feather on a baby noob's forehead. Another where Stealer was asleep, guarding a pillow fortress made of marshmallows. Then, like a gentle tug, Sprunki was drawn downward again. He landed softly in his seat. The train reappeared below him, catching him like it knew he'd return. Sprunky snuggled deeper into the cushions, his blanket now glowing faintly with the stardust he'd gathered. The voice returned, softer now. Next stop, the forest of forever naps. The trees outside were tall and fuzzy, shaped like upside-down dreams. Each branch held a nest, and in each nest a story. Sprunky watched them flicker to life as they passed. Stories of kindness, of sleepy adventures, of long, peaceful nights. Some had familiar faces. Some were yet to be told. Sprunky yawned for the first time. The train gave a gentle hum, like it understood. The cabin lights warmed, turning the air golden. Tiny floating stars drifted lazily down from the ceiling. One landed on Sprunky's nose. He giggled, then sneezed. Outside, a Roblox fox dad curled protectively around a tiny cub, the same fox from the old dream about the luminous lake. Sprunky remembered. He'd once visited that world. It made him feel safe. The train slowed again. Ahead was a place with no name, only a glow. They entered the tunnel of hushed whispers. The walls were lined with slow-moving words, phrases children said right before falling asleep. "Can I have one more story? I don't want to wake up yet. Night-night, stars." Sprunky closed his eyes, just for a moment. But the train kept moving. Outside now was the mirror meadow, where everything reflected back dreams instead of faces. Sprunky saw himself as a cloud, as a sunbeam, as a laughing spark. Then he saw nothing, just black. But it wasn't empty. It was rest. And the train moved gently through it, like a lullaby with no words, only feeling. When Sprunky opened his eyes again, they were passing the playground of sleeping giants. Massive, friendly figures slept on gentle hills, each one with a tiny Roblox world curled up on its chest. A sleepy soccer ball rolled past. A bunny climbed up a giant's arm, then lay down and fell asleep. The train blew a soft whistle. Sprunky blinked slowly. He still didn't want to sleep. Not yet. Not until the last world. Not until the train reached the Hammock Glade. The train moved slower now. Even the stars outside blinked more gently. Sprunky leaned against the window, his eyes half closed. The rocking of the train felt like a lullaby humming inside his chest. Ahead, the sky darkened into a deep, velvety blue. The voice whispered again, softer than before. Approaching, the valley of whispering pillows. Outside, floating hills rolled gently like waves, covered in enormous pillows stitched with stars. Some were shaped like animals, turtles, whales, even a soft dinosaur with a tiny nightcap. Sprunky watched as one pillow uncurled, revealing a sleepy hedgehog who yawned and rolled over without waking up. A gentle breeze carried small phrases written in glowing thread across the sky. "Good night. Sweet dreams. You're safe here." Sprunky read them without saying a word. He just smiled and placed his paw on the window. The glass was warm. Inside the cabin, something changed. The ceiling now glowed softly with shapes of constellations, Sprunky-shaped stars, a teddy bear made of comets, a rainbow snail winding through Saturn's rings. They moved slowly, like dreams drifting above his head. The rhythm of the train pulsed deeper now. Two, 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 two. Sprunky's ears twitched. Something familiar was close. The train glided over a bridge woven from night threads. Below it lay the lake of sleepy reflections, a still, silver lake where every star mirrored itself like a secret twin. On the shore, Roblox characters curled together in small glowing tents. One tent shimmered like a dream Sprunky had long ago. A baby version of him was inside it, hugging a sleepy noob plushie. Sprunky blinked slowly. A soft chime rang through the train. The next car ahead had opened. Sprunky stood up. He walked through the softly lit corridor, paws barely making a sound. The next car was different, rounder, filled with floating lanterns. Each one contained a glowing moment, a child yawning, a warm hug, a laugh, a bedtime whisper. As he walked past, the lanterns turned slightly toward him. They recognized him. Or maybe they remembered. He sat on a cushion in the center of the new car. From here, he could see everything, the skies above, the lands below, the dreams beyond. And then, ahead, it appeared. The place only whispered in older dreams, where the night train always ended. Crescent Moon, the Hammock Glade. The train began to descend. Golden vines curled around floating trees made of feathers. In the center, suspended between two glowing star trees, a giant hammock swayed slowly. It shimmered with threads of memory, scenes from Sprunky's old dreams, flashes of kindness, moments of comfort. The train slowed to a stop. Not with a screech, but with a sigh. Sprunky stepped out. The air smelled like soft flowers and warm night. He floated, just a little, toward the hammock. Each step felt lighter. He passed glowing butterflies, fireflies that hummed lullabies, clouds shaped like memories. One resembled the first time he made a friend. Another looked like the blanket he always curled into. He reached the hammock. It was warm, alive, somehow, like it had been waiting just for him. He climbed in. The moment he did, everything hushed. The leaves stopped rustling. The stars held their breath. Even the moon slowed its rise. Then, the keeper of yawns appeared. A tall, gentle figure with a face like a sleepy cloud, eyes half-lidded, voice like the wind through curtains. They stepped forward and placed a single golden feather on Sprunky's forehead. "You made it," the keeper whispered. Sprunky didn't speak. He just smiled. The feather shimmered. Rings of light pulsed from Sprunky's head, soft pink alpha waves curling into the sky. They passed through the trees, into the stars, across every dream that Robloxia held. The keeper leaned close. "Sleep now, little dreamer." Sprunky closed his eyes. His breathing slowed. The stars above bent slightly, curling like arms around him. The train behind him faded. Not vanished, just no longer needed. The trees hummed. The clouds swirled. The sky whispered. And in the middle of everything, Sprunky, wrapped in childhood warmth, swaying gently between the stars, drifted into the deepest dream of all. Silence followed. Not the kind of silence that feels empty, but the kind that holds you, protects you, and sings without sound. Tiny lights danced through the hammock threads. In the distance, the moon finally rested. It folded itself into a cloud and smiled. And then, just before the screen could fade to black, a last message shimmered into view across the stars. "Crescent Moon, Sprunky's night train will always be waiting for you." Fade out. Complete calm.